Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte. Today, I'm your host, Alan, and we are delighted that you've chosen to join us on this joyful June morning as we celebrate the summer solstice. And another thing that brings us joy is we love connecting to people through YouTube, Facebook, and all of our social media. So I encourage you to go to our website, cslcharlotte.org, put in a prayer request, and subscribe. I encourage you to check it out. So who are we at CSL Charlotte? Well, we are a new thought community based on the science of mind. This science of mind philosophy was developed in the early 20th century by writer and lecturer Dr. Ernest Holmes. Dr. Holmes was a man on the mission. He combined truths and wisdom from all the world's traditions and spiritual paths and created a fresh, new way to look at ourselves and how we fit into this world. So what do we do here at CSL Charlotte? Well, we are a diverse community who believe in accepting others. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, gay, straight, or any kind of physical distinction, because we are all individualized facets of that divine diamond, and we recognize that within each other, and we are here to encourage each other to grow in our brilliance. So in order to do that, we recognize many holy scriptures such as the Diamond Sutra, the Bible, the Bhagavad Gita, and the Tao Te Ching, just to name a few examples. So why are we here? Well, we are here to embody these teachings and transform our lives so we can inspire other people to transform their lives. And in doing so, it creates a domino effect and makes the world a much better place. So if that sounds awesome to you, then I encourage you to check out our weekly conscious meetings that meet on Tuesday evenings at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And it will give you the tools to do just that, how you can transform your lives in an intimate setting. So before I pass the mic over to our leader, I would like to leave you with this quote. Today's theme is about being fired up and fueled by holy boldness. If you knew that your life was merely a phase or short segment of your entire existence, how would you live? Knowing nothing real was at risk, what would you do? You'd live a gigantic, bold, fun, dazzling life. You know you would. That's what the ghosts want us to do. All of the exciting things they no longer can. And that is a quote by Chuck Palahniuk. And with that, I pass the mic over to our radiant Reverend Rosedale Jones.
Fabulous. I like that. That's what the ghosts want us to do. I like that he uses that. Just keep reminding us that just because you don't see it doesn't mean it isn't there. Thank you, Alan. Great quote. So with that being said, everyone, welcome to CSL Charlotte, the Mind, Body, Spirit Center. Today, we are all about some very good stuff for you, and you're going to see pretty soon what summer solstice is bringing out of me and out of this whole community today. So our attention is on fired up and fueled by holy boldness. First, we'll open our Sunday celebrations with affirmative prayer, and then we're going to set the tone. And leading us in the prayer today is my awesome colleague and friend in San Diego, Dr. Wanda. So with that being said, we're going to hear if she's fired up and fueled with holy boldness. We did see that she was based on the platform prayer. So let's see how she opens us up. Okay, Dr. Wanda, let's pray.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. I've had a wonderful respite from the world. And I actually wrote a prayer for CSL Charlotte, which I'm going to use this morning. So let's just settle in, relax, and get ready for the magnificent talk we're going to hear today. Divine source of all infinite presence flowing through as and in me, in every atom and every breath within my being. I pause in deep reverence to acknowledge the sacred work in the unfolding in unseen ways that are happening here at Charlotte, North Carolina, right here and right now. I honor the healers, the dreamers, and the peacemakers, and all who send forth love like ripples across a vast and waiting sea. The energy, quiet or bold, is a beacon, pouring into the great well of universal light. I know this offering of positive intention and this spiritual labor of the heart merges with the eternal rhythm of harmony, awaking greatness in every soul it touches. Let peace blossom in the place of pain. Let love rise where our price stood. Let love rise where our peace stands. Let our collective work right here at CSL Charlotte be a channel for healing, lifting the world in the highest good. I give thanks for the sacred web we weaved this morning. Every prayer, every song, every act of compassion is woven into this universal's becoming, and we are becoming. We are merging, we are changing, we are becoming. And so it is. Amen.
It is. Thank you, Dr. Wanda, for that beautiful, well written prayer. So, next on our platform is our, as she mentioned earlier, our operations coordinator that keeps, nope, yes, it is, that keeps us all on tack and on task. So today, I know how expressionable he is when he gets to do the reading, so that's why I'm like excited. So I know he must know about being fired up and fueled by holy boldness this morning because he's powerfully reading for us today. So Horace, no, wait, before I tell you to come up, listen to this song, In Beauty May I Walk by Karen Drucker, right after he's finished. And just imagine yourself walking on that beach following her as you get to understand being fired up. So let's go, Horace the Bush, and let it happen. Make it do what it do.
All right. Thank you, Reverend Rosedale. I feel honored to bring our reading for this morning. And the title of the reading is The Inner Flame and the Boldness of Prayer by our own Reverend Rosedale Jones. So, what are you most passionate about in life? Yes, think about that question. What are you most passionate about in your life? If you are unsure or you feel that your purpose has shifted, spend time this week rediscovering your passion and rekindling your fire. Every individual has a purpose on this planet, and it is time you are fired up for yours because there is a fire within each and every one of us, a quiet, powerful flame, and it cannot be extinguished. It is not lit by the world. Okay, let me say that again. It is not lit by the world, and it cannot be dimmed by the world. This flame is the presence of the divine within, the divine spark of truth that burns steady and strong. You can personalize it and call it whatever you like. That's right, you can call it whatever you like. It really doesn't matter what you call it. But what I want you to know, have you ever been so certain, so clear that nothing could talk you out of what you knew in your soul? And that certainly is not arrogance. It is holy boldness, a sacred conviction born of divine knowing. That is the knower within, the still small voice that whispers and resonates within us. It's the intuitive nudge that says, go this way, speak now, be still, trust. And when we listen to that voice, when we move from that place of inner fire, we discover what Ernest Holmes meant when he said, prayer is not asking for things, okay? Let me say that again because some of us need to hear that again. Prayer is not asking for things. It is the mental attitude of receiving them. Okay? We do not pray to get something. Okay? I want to say that again. We do not pray to get something. We pray to align with what already is, our vibration for pure resonance. We don't plead, we claim. We are fired up with this kind of spiritual certainty. We don't hope for outcomes, we stand in them. We don't wait for signs. We know that we already are the sign. So nurture that sacred flame within. Listen deeply to its quiet brilliance and pray affirmatively and boldly. Keep knowing that what we seek is already present. It's waiting for us to believe, to receive, and to walk forward in faith. And I'm going to leave you with this quote. When we live from that place, fired up, humble, divinely vibrating, we are unstoppable. And that is from my Reverend Rosedale Jones. And so it is.
So we'll start by a short centering and we'll relax our eyes first. But first of all, relax them either by putting them down into your lap or basically closing them. But just make sure you have no distractions for today. You really got to hear this. So I invite you to take a deep breath with me, really deep breath. Let it go. And then release it. See, I want you to allow yourself to be aware of the stillness and get fired up and fueled by holy boldness. Now, you got to know that holy boldness is that power within us. And when you're lit on fire, that's that power within us moving us. Or when you decide that you're not going to get lit up, then it's moving, but you're not. And so you're not. So just realize that you got to get that. So feel that. Feel fueled by holy boldness. And so when I think of that, being fueled and fired up by holy boldness, I think of being grounded as I'm walking with intention and in peace. But I'm doing that in my mind a lot of times because sometimes I don't have the chance to walk the beach. So I love it when I take time in my mind and walk on the beach, shifting that sand in divine alignment with nature, running through my body, every cell in my bones, because you know the feet are the most sensitive point. So as you walk that sand, you're grounded. So that's the grounded. So this song is both a prayer and a declaration, and it is making it ideal for reflection and deep contemplation. That gives me time to walk in peace and to get fired up and fueled by holy boldness. And then I'm knowing, divinely knowing, and I walk with spiritual courage and peace and joy and love. So getting fired up happens automatically for me whenever I take that time in my mind for a peaceful place. What about you? This song is a reminder for us to be in a place other than our physical surroundings, so we can get fueled and fired up and fueled by holy boldness so much more easily. So are you starting to realize what fired up and fueled by holy boldness means yet? So wiggle your fingers and your toes and integrate your mind, body, and spirit, and then take a few moments with grace and ease. Now, look around your room, but feel it now. Feel your room, feel your space, and feel your space. And allow yourself to get the energy to get fired up and fueled by holy boldness. So I'm calling to your soul because today's message is a call to the soul. Let your soul hear this. It's a call to rise, to move, to speak, and to shine. Now, it's about being fired up and fueled by holy boldness. And when you are, you know it. Holy boldness is about having the courage to say what you want to say about what you believe and stand on it. That's holy boldness. Now, if you don't have that, work on it, get it. Because the metaphor being fired up has roots, and it comes in the science and the spirituality context. You know, everything is like metaphoric, but that's okay but the thing is, this is not a metaphor. Fire is the wisdom of the forest. The trees know that it's only through the fire that the next generation can begin. On the West Coast, the Serratinus pine cones are found in those fire-prone areas of the West Coast. It's not meant to destroy the world. The trees know they need that intense heat, that wildfire to activate them, to burst open those pine cones, to just let those seeds pop open and go back down into the ground. We need a new forest is what they're knowing. They know, just like they know we got to change, but they don't sit there and try to fight it and stand for their limitations. Well, I know why I'm not changing, because this is, no, the tree stands there and lets it burn, and then the tree knows it's coming back. The tree allows the leaves to fall off its tree, and it knows that it's coming back. See, that's the same power we got, but we got to use it. See, the pine cones on the East Coast here, a little different. They typically don't need that heat from the fire, but they do need the heat and the warmth and the dryness over time in order to and pop those cones and allow the seeds to come out. See, without fire, just check it out now, without fire or heat, the new life remains locked inside of us. Oh, see, this is where I'm gonna get. That's like so many people having desires that are locked up inside of them. So spirit works in us with the heat, getting you upset and pissed off with people to release them seeds if you need to. You gotta let it go. Now, there have been moments in my life when I got fired up with the holy boldness, and I know that what it was doing was I was releasing. People are afraid to show anger because they think that something's going to happen. But let me just tell you, anger moves. It's that kind of fire that wakes you up in the morning with a purpose. And you won't let anything stop you because you're going to continue to do it. But you know what? If you don't act on that fire, then every day you wake up and go, okay, all right, that's enough. I don't need to go there. I remember a particular time in my life when the fire stirred within me, but there's so many times, but this particular time was big and beautiful and bold. I couldn't relax with this constantly on my mind, what I wanted to do back then. See, but okay, check it out. Here's what I do know. Each and every one of us have talents and are constantly given talents to use. And you know what? It's for us to make great livings with it. And I use every bit of my talents every season. I find a new talent. I use them to the fullest because I'm enjoying it. But here's what I know. Some people choose fear. So they know that they have the talent. They just, Well, so you know what happens? You're not going with the flow. But see, me, I couldn't keep living in a way that I'm not happy because I know for a fact that I was being nagged every single night. And you know you're being nagged, but you're not doing anything about it, but you could be. But you see, I kept hearing, you're bigger than this. You're bigger than this. And then, in the 90s, this is way back then I'm talking, I found this philosophy somewhere, but first it was y'all reading and stuff like that. But when I found it physically after moving to California and then back to Charlotte, I found this whole philosophy, and I immersed myself in it big time. I took class after class. I didn't just want to learn the principles and how the book says this and that. I wanted to live these principles, and I do. But deep down inside, I knew that science of mind is the real deal. And I wasn't just, and I wasn't just looking for theory, because some people are theorists. Oh yeah, so if you, yeah, this is, yeah, no, 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 no. I trust, and I know that the service, that the power within me works. Everything I work works. So I trust it. So the first community I had, I joined. I had a no nonsense minister, Reverend Claire Middleton. She didn't sugarcoat a thing. I'm telling you, if half the people I know, if she spoke to them the way she spoke to me, you'd crush. Oh, she hurt my feelings. Boy, when she told me that, when she spoke truth, and it made me say, all right, get up off your butt and quit playing. You know, she was thinking, oh, you know what? If you come here to fight for your limitations, Rosedale, you're in the wrong place. And that's what I needed. That's the fire she had to put under me to make me realize that, okay, don't tell her all your problems in a way unless you're going to do. Tell me your problems, but what you going to do with them? But don't tell me your problems, but I can still see that you still ain't doing nothing with them, right? That's how she was. So when she had classes, I was in every single one of them. I learned my first spiritual mind treatment, that we used to call it at the time. Now it's called affirmative prayer. I learned my spiritual mind treatment. I learned it by writing it. And she was real strict on that. She said, well, when you come to the class and you don't want to participate in everything, that's fine. But don't blame the system if you're not using it, because it's all here for you. So when people say, I don't have money to take classes, it's nothing wrong. But you know what I know? They have not yet seen value in this deep inner work. And it is powerful. This value that's in here, the fire that it gives you. Here's the deal. The wisdom, the tools, the spiritual grounding that these teachings provide us are essential to life. Oh, let me think about. Okay, at some point, we all reach a time in our lives where we realize that I have to become evolved. I have to spiritually evolve, because this isn't a luxury for me anymore. This is a necessity. It's got to be understood that everybody's screaming about America, the world is doing this. Well, get yourself together, because the knowledge, the practice, and the consciousness that we develop through these classes, they prepare us to step into the life that we want, that we say we want. Somebody said, oh, I'm resonating on, what did she say? Healing. If you're still sick, you're not resonating with healing. You're resonating with sickness. But wanting, you get me? So if you take enough classes, it's preparing you to step into life that you say you want. Because see, listen, transformation doesn't just happen. We have to invest in it. We have to invest mind, body, spirit, time, and oh yes, the wallet. You don't get anything for free in the world. And I'm sure that every single dollar I invested in the woman I am today, whoa, was and is, I should say, was so worth it. So in 2002, in one of my spiritual classes, I boldly declared that now this is where I tell you why these classes work. I was very, very new, just learning how to write spiritual mind treatments, okay? But I practiced them. So if you learned in our classes, good for you. But if you didn't practice in our classes, that's all I can say, okay? I boldly declared that I'm going to own my own all-state insurance agency, because I had all my licenses all the way down to mutual funds. I had them all going on. But from that class, I actually did exactly what I did. But one of the things I ended up knowing was, I'm going to teach other people how to do this, because I started seeing a little stuff happening for me. And that's why I think I'm here today. It was just polishing me up, and the fire was just steady brewing, steady kindling, brewing, picking up. But I worked my lessons. And these are the things that I tell people to do all the time, but they don't have to. But my private clients are getting this real good now, because they really realize I'm not going to work with you too long if you don't do the work, because I want success out of this. Yes, I do want to be paid, but I can get paid by somebody that's getting success. You get me? I told a girl that. She said, wow, Now she's working this show. She's working her show. See, what I did with these classes was I moved in faith. I didn't just pray. All right. I stayed focused. I was applying these principles and I was learning myself. I was becoming so much more self-aware because I was being sensible about this. I just kept putting one foot in front of the other. I didn't allow doubt or fear or discouragement to disrail me. Derail me? Okay. But check this out. Before I knew it, everything started to line up. Now, of course, I made the declaration in class one day, but it didn't happen the next day. Trust me. That's why I always emphasize the value of spiritual practices and classes. By the third class from that one, that's when things started picking up. Our classes, let me tell you, are not just information. They are transformation. That's what they're about. They develop something in you, a deep knowing. And you say, oh, I took that class before. Oh. You're never going to know it all. You're going to say, oh, now this time I need to go in there and discern divine confidence in myself. Oh no, I need the courage to take action on this particular round of this class. So don't think, oh, I heard that one, I took that one. No, there's always something there. Because see, let me just tell you, prayer without work is just feeble hope. Oh, I hope. Then that means that you're not resonating with the thing you say you want. You're resonating with your lack of whatever it is you're looking for. But prayer without action is woo. But prayer with action, what is that? That's where the miracles live. You just have to nurture your dreams because that's what you're going to be doing. It wasn't too long after my declaration, maybe a couple of months, that I landed an interview with Allstate. Now, here's another thing. A lot of people, you get the word no, or you get this thing like this boulder in front of you, you think it's over. No. I got to keep going back to my drawing board. I called it, back in the day, I called it my lab. My bedroom was my lab. I would go home and take my work there and do whatever I learned to work on that thing. But when I got to my Allstate agency interview, they told me I needed $50,000 to start an agency because you need the startup course. This all on me. It's not them. And I'll tell you something about that. That would have stopped most people. But when I told Reverend Claire that, she said, and she didn't give me no like, oh wow. No, she didn't look like that because that woman is absolute. She's still, and even though she made her transition, I can feel her presence in this moment. So a lot of times having her makes me know that I had her. And that lady powerfully understood. Just like Dr. Christian, he's the same person. He's the same way. But you know what? That $50,000 which scared a lot of people off. But it didn't do that for me. Because you see, what I know I was doing back then was I had been fueled. Now I know, but I didn't know that's what I was doing by doing my work. But I had been fueling and becoming fired up with my classwork, with my self-awareness and conviction, and coming back to class and sharing that, well, that didn't work, but this worked. I don't mind doing that because you see, if you sit there and go, everything's going great, well, okay, then you don't want to do anything else. But when I heard $50,000, I didn't say I can't. I said, there got to be another way. I said that just like I was nuts. But that was before being in class keeps the solid rock on me. Because I was like, well, there's got to be another way. So I heard about this program all of a sudden when I felt like there had to be another way. Then boom, here comes this program telling me that, oh, the SBA loans are going to be sponsoring this thing here at the libraries here in Charlotte. Oh, really? So I made an appointment. I got my documents in my hand. I was organized and ready. But the man assigned to me, he didn't believe in me. He everything I pitched, he shot it down. But every document I handed him, he pushed him aside. The fire within me was spreading because that was spirit telling me that if you sit here and give that man your power, then you will not have that agency. But that's not what I knew then, but I still heard this aching inside of me when he was telling me now. So he said, he appeared that I wasn't smart enough or worthy for this. And then all of a sudden, I stopped because the fire was really burning. I was getting angry with this man. And every time I heard the word no, the flame got wider throughout the forest. I can just see the trees. All the fire lit up the whole the whole forest, right? Burning the place down. But I stood up, fired up and fueled with holy boldness. And I said, you know what? You don't get to tell me what God has for me. You can't give me nothing and you can't take nothing from me. I'm getting my agency with or without the SBA. And walked out, got back in my car. Now, see, some people might call that anger and say, well, you ain't going to get it because you're angry. Oh, no, baby. Let me tell you what anger does. Anger puts the pedal to the metal, honey. It puts the quantum field ready to respond because it's going to use. Remember how I always say, now I get to say this to you. Emotion is always part of the process. Don't be ashamed if you have to go to somebody and go, let me just tell you, you are not angry. That's that power within you. That's that fire. You are fueled by holy boldness because you know I'm not taking that. You can't have my power. My power is in me. You got your own power, so stick with yours. So when I jumped back in the car, through the phone over there, I was just getting myself together, knowing that this, things was happening. But my phone rang the minute I threw that phone in that passenger seat. It was Allstate. And now, in hindsight, what I realized is that my vibration of anger signaled confidence to the quantum field. Tom picked up my dossier and he began reading it at the same moment while I was milling in the SBA office because I had that interview a week before I went to the SBA office. But this day, he decided to pick up my thing and read it. But because I did not sit still and let this man tell me what I can't have and cannot have, the quantum field put the minds and hearts together with all the people and the decision makers, not just people, with the decision makers of Allstate, put together a little team because what Tom did was pass my dossier around to people. They were impressed with my commitment, with the power that I have been displaying on the sales and winning all these trips and doing all these things. He shared that stuff with them. All while I was broadcasting anger. Now listen, when you apply yourself to learn what you need to learn in our classes, this stuff becomes easier for you to really believe it. I know you said, wow, I'm telling you, I continue to do things that are unbelievable to many people, but that's because you didn't apply yourself yet and you didn't see the value of this stuff yet, but you will. Because like I said, everybody comes to a point where they say, okay, I'm done. I have to move on. I got to get this. You will not feel fear, I promise you, if you really let your anger display and vibrate your true intention. Did you hear what I said? You won't feel fear if you let your anger go ahead and vibrate your true intention. One thing about me I've noticed all this time, that since the beginning of my Science of Mind thing, and I'm going to continue for the rest of my life, I'm sure. But I remember I used to say, you got a big spirit because you just let it out. You just let everybody know what you're thinking all the time. That's right, because that's what the universe responds to. Truth. I'm not going to pretend that I'm okay with something if I'm not okay. And I'm not going to be quiet if I'm not okay. They're going to recognize me in the quantum field the same way that one of the episodes, I'll use the decision makers at Allstate. They recognize me from the quantum field because they don't know why Tom sent my dossier to them. Tom don't even know why he picked it up. But now I do, because when he said, I was just thinking of you today, and I decided to read this and pass this over. So what did they do? They called me up, and two people got on a three-way call with me and offered me to come in for a special interview. So so now what they decided to offer me was a program that was designed for me to prepare and eventually own and operate my own insurance agency. Wow! Now, this is over a series of months, but somebody else would have given up after hearing $50,000 and being told no by the SBA guy, all the things that you think that I would quit for. But no way. But 2 years later, I did just that. I had my agency for 10 years over on South Boulevard. Enjoyed it, living it every day, being free to come and go as I please, and had my own hours until I sold it. Because it was time now, because I was being called to California. Because with Reverend Claire, she had put so much with me in depth, left in depth with me. Even though I had to leave her for a while because I had to go to another place to journey, but her journey really sparked me move forward. That journey with her was beautiful. The quantum field kept us moving together for a long time. So here's what I want you to know. This is the point I'm trying to make. The energy that I emit, no matter how angry or happy I am when I emit it, my emotions are involved. You need to get that understood, because you got to understand that signaling your vibration is a must if you think you're going to manifest a better life. If you think you're going to evolve and grow, you must grow every day with the times. You cannot stay stagnant there, or you die with the music in you. Just know this: growth doesn't unfold in neat little chronological steps. Everybody thinks that, what did you do? Well, I did an affirmative prayer, but that ain't all I did. Did you hear that? I went to the agency. They said, ooh, you need this. And I could have stopped right there, but no. I had to do other steps. It's not a one and done, right? There is no one size fits all map to becoming spiritually awake or spiritually mature. No. So I challenge you now to get fired up and fueled by the holy boldness and say what you want to say. But when you do say what you want to say, don't hold back. If you know what you want to say is necessary. So a lot comes with that. Confidence, courage, your truth, and your actually desire. Because you're not, if you think for 1 minute, because you want something, that you're resonating with it, you don't resonate until you stand up and stand in it. When you don't stand up in it, you're sitting there on the floor somewhere, figuratively, not doing anything for you. So here's my thing: to be fueled, to get up, fired up and fueled by the holy boldness, you must and absolutely must say what you want to say and let those words fall out, because if you don't, you end up with what? So bravery is the thing, because that's what the universe responds to. That's what that power in you is going to remember. Remember, if I'm vibrating here and the universe is vibrating here, and I'm not willing to push myself up there, then I'm going to get what's over here, which is not what I really set out for. We want to vibrate on the same frequency with the quantum field, the universe, whatever you want to call it, because that's how this connection within me and the connection around me works. There's no other way about it. There's no way to sugarcoat it. There's no way to say it any different, but this is not a one and done. But it's all about being brave enough to stand for what you know and what you want. So say what you want to say. Let the words fall out. But in the meantime, listen to the song Brave by Sara Bareilles. I wanna see you be love it when I sing. I tell my people that in the weeks when I have those classes out there. I say, don't you like when I sing? Because they love the music I pick. I'm using all kinds of New Thought music and all that. They go, my God, your playlist is fabulous. Where'd you get it from? I said, oh my goodness, it's really tough to find it. I don't even think I can get that stuff. Well, wherever I'm getting it from, Spotify is pretty good. But you know what? Anyway, being fired up and fueled by holy boldness really means letting your spirit speak freely. Let it. Don't hold your mouth when you want to say it. What happens when you don't? You regurgitate that later. Oh, you feel sick. Oh, my stomach feels bad because, or whatever. I don't know if it's the stomach, but you don't feel good. So this means letting your spirit speak freely, without fear, without shame, without apology. I don't have to apologize if I don't like that. When Sara sings, let the words fall out, it's more than lyrics. It's that fire releasing to keep you from feeling locked up. Those seeds don't get out because don't let that fire go. So let spirit speak through you, fired up and fueled with Holy Ghost, holy boldness. It's the same thing. As you speak with clarity and conviction and faith. Now I'll go ahead. Clarity, conviction, and faith. Please don't forget that. I got to give some big shout outs now. Thank you, Alan, my right-hand man, for getting up there and doing that and coming out with those awesome quotes to open us up with. And our opening and closing prayer, Dr. Wanda. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, that's right. Yes, right. She knows. She knows how fired up and fueled by holy boldness she is, too. So thank you, Horace, for reading with such flair. Now, you know what? You do it with such awesome expression, too. So thank you, Melissa, for spotlighting and greeting for us today. And thanks, Timmy P, for the music and the announcements. He always makes sure he tells us what's really happening and what we just heard, he synopsis. So with that being said, thanks, Mo, for you also emailing all those prayers out for us and getting them out to start it. So before our last song and our pray out, consider this. Today was all about being fired up and fueled by holy boldness. Now, remember, during this week, things are going to come up that's going to throw you and bring you back. But just remember, hold on, because when you go with holy boldness in your heart and fire in your belly, you become a conqueror, somebody with the strength and the power in your own voice. See, I'd rather stand tall than live on my knees, because that's what I am. I'm a conqueror. I am not going to accept defeat by another man or woman, for that matter. Okay, you're not doing that to me. So I take the time to practice lots of times being fired up and fueled by holy boldness. But remember this, remember we talked about resonance so much, but when resonance, focus, and belief aligns together, remember, miracles are inevitable. So with these lyrics you're about to come upon right now to remind you of, you might see struggle, but you won't quit on you because you are a conqueror. So listen to the song, I Am a Conqueror. Oh, yes, I am a conqueror. So don't tell me no, because one thing about me is I am a conqueror. So songs like these, I'm a conqueror. Do this week. Let that play in your mind. Try telling me no, because one thing about me, I'm a conqueror. And also take this, I'd rather stand tall than live on my knees, because I am a conqueror. Because there is this power within me that goes beyond me, that handles all things beyond me. And guess what? As a conqueror, They are working for my highest and good. Now, I know that every time that fire starts in me and starts to burn, I start to speak up. I start to do what I need to do. And I do it for me and I do it for everybody else. I rise for myself to every occasion. And each and every one of us here on this screen, on this platform, Timmy P, Dr. Wanda, Horace, and Mo are standing here as conquerors, accepting no defeat. But you can't tell us no, because see, Alan's starting to learn that no doesn't work too. So with all of that, when each and every one of us do that, this week, we start to make sure as we go, we are fired up, fueled by holy boldness and accepting no defeat, but only success. And with that being said, everybody, we've taken this week on by a storm and moving forward. So I release this to the Lord, knowing it can only return to us as being fired up and fueled by holy boldness as conquerors in our own lives. And so it is. Amen. So, that was just a cute thing I had to think. Oops, stop. Think. Okay, as we wrap up our time together, da-da. We know that being fired up and fueled by holy boldness is the key to success. So next time life tries to tell you no, remember who you are and what you are. Remember, you are that forest that lights up the flames to start new when you're ready to start new. And remember, fire lives in you too. So the next time the universe is listening and responding to your vibration, you are continuously knowing it and reflecting, knowing that it's supporting you because you got it like that. So when we begin practicing being fired up, fueled, and with holy boldness, manifest the things you want, that's your truth, and really speak your word. So from now on, until we meet, stay vibrating and being fired up and fueled by holy boldness. And so it is.